Let me introduce you to our room. It's almost identical to the old Alexandria Masonic Lodge room. This room is architecturally similar to that old lodge room. And this is the same furniture that was in the lodge room when George Washington was master of our lodge. And Washington served as master of our lodge. It was 1788 and 1789. He didn't finish up the 1789 year. That's when he had to go to New York City, where he was inaugurated president. But this is an interesting room, and if you'd like to step in, I'll point out several things.
Sure.
I think the most important thing, that old black leather chair that's under the plexiglass cover, that chair came from George Washington's home. It was his library chair down at Mount Vernon. He used that chair in his library, of course, many years, and he donated that chair to our lodge the first year that he was the chief officer, the master of the lodge. That chair was used for 118 years by the presiding masters. I guess everybody wanted to sit in George's chair. 118 years, a lot of them did. That portrait of Washington over the chair is probably the centerpiece of this whole memorial. And it's probably the only portrait of George Washington that really and honestly shows in the way he actually looked. He insisted with the artist, he said, he didn't really want to pose. He was busy, he was in Philadelphia for president. But he told the artist, I'll pose for you, but don't flatter me, don't make me look any better. Let me show you what the artist did over here. Now this is a high quality lithograph of the original. And what this is, so you can see. Now that artist included every little facial blemish. Whether it was flattering or whether it was just something that was not flattering, he included it. Now Washington had smallpox when he was 19 years old. And you notice a little white pock mark here. That's a scar from smallpox. And around his cheeks up here is another scar around his eyebrow. And there's a little brown mole on his right ear. And there's a scar, a disfiguring scar right here down his left cheek. And that scar, it concerned me. I was wondering, how did he get that scar? Was it a bullet wound, an accident? But it turned out to be something rather simple. He had an abscessed tooth, and they had to make a little incision to drain that tooth. It never did heal cleanly. His skin coloring, it's red and it's harsh. That was no attempt to add any cosmetic touches to it to make him look better. That's the way he really looked. And when that portrait was finished, George Washington did agree. He says it doesn't flatter me, but it's a good likeness. He accepted that portrait. It's been on display in our lodge room since 1794. Amazing where aprons is all symbolic. That apron was made for George Washington by some nuns in a convent in France. It's a lovely thing. That's done on satin. All the stitching in the apron is gold and silver. Now George Washington wore that apron when he laid the cornerstone for our National Capitol building, 1793. That's a really historical item. A couple other things. I mentioned to you that George Washington laid the cornerstone for our National Capitol building. That's his Masonic apron he wore. That's a Masonic ceremony. And this is a little trowel he used. Ceremonial, of course, it didn't have a lot of mortar on it. But that little circular trowel was used by George Washington when he laid the cornerstone for our Capitol building. Now, since then, that little trowel has been used for so many public buildings in this area, which of course would include the Washington Monument, the Smithsonian Institution, the Senate and House office buildings, the State Department, the Jefferson Memorial. And of course, that trowel was also used for the cornerstone ceremony. But this building was done in 1923. It was really an exciting day. That strap going across the bottom of the case is a coffin strap. It was used to help roll Washington's body into the vault at Mount Vernon. He had a Masonic funeral ceremony. And incidentally, all but one of the pallbearers at George Washington's funeral, all but one, were members of his Masonic lodge in Alexandria. His bed chamber clock. On the evening Washington died, one of the three physicians who attended him was Dr. Elisha Cullen Dick. And Dr. Dick cut the pendulum cord on the clock. He removed the counterweight and he stopped the clock at the exact time of his death. You notice it was 10:20. George Washington died at 10:20. It was in the evening on the 14th of December, 1799. Usually, well, it's almost invariably during the day when our visitors come in, they ask two questions. How old was Washington when he died? He was 67. What was his illness? What caused his death? He had this terrible problem with the throat. This thing had become so severe, so debilitating. He was having trouble trying to speak. His wife Martha couldn't understand him. He couldn't swallow anything. And he was having trouble trying to breathe.